step-by-step guide that will equip any first-time home buyer with the knowledge they need to confidently make informed decisions. This book provides answers in simple and clear terms to most, if not all, of the questions you may have about credit, homeownership, and generational wealth. Finally Home equips the reader with the confidence to be engaged with the home buying process without feeling vulnerable or exploited. TaylaMade Real Estate Easy is not just a catchy hashtag, it is real estate agent and radio personality TaylaAndre's goal. A goal to simplify one of the most challenging processes you will go through as an adult. A goal to educate you properly on credit and teach you the strategies to finding the home of your dream. It is not just a good book or an easy read, it is the secret to a seamless home buying experience.
Enjoying the miracle of radio. Radio, Tayla's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. SparkFM.
Okay, good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. We are back. So Juneteenth is the oldest known celebration honoring the end of slavery in the United States. On June 19th, 1865, the Union General Gordon Granger led thousands of federal troops to Galveston, Texas, to announce the Civil War has ended and slaves had been free. Approximately 250,000 Texan slaves had no idea that their freedom had been secured by the government. However, the history of freedom in this country can be tangled, and this is no exception. So you may recall Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation from elementary school social studies class. The condensed version, many learned that this executive order meant immediate freedom for slaves throughout the nation. However, since the country was in the midst of a civil war, those states that had seceded from the Union did not adhere to the proclamation at all, and the slaves in those states remained enslaved. Though much of the language in the Emancipation Proclamation suggests otherwise, Lincoln's primary objective was not to let give freedom to slaves. It was actually, he was like, listen, we're going to stop this nonsense today. It had nothing to do with slaves. And I know a lot of us want to believe that Lincoln was also good and he was also righteous. And that's why he's the opposite in a different color than any other coin that we had, because he let the blacks go. So they put him on a brown copper. But his intent was to preserve the Union. In August of 1862, Horace Greeley, the editor of the New York Times Tribune, published an editorial address to Lincoln, pressuring his stance on slavery and urging him to abolish it, even though Lincoln himself had slaves. Nobody want to talk about that, but he absolutely did. And there's also a rumor that hasn't been completely debunked that Abraham Lincoln was actually a Negro himself, and his mom was Negro. It was a negress, actually. And in this published Tribune from the editorial address from the editor, my paramount object in this struggle is to save the Union and not either save or destroy slavery, Lincoln wrote. What I do about slavery and the colored race, I do because I believe it helps save this Union. I want to be very, very clear on what took place. It had nothing to do with y'all black folks while you over here enamored over Abraham Lincoln. Again, my paramount objective in this struggle is to save the Union, and it's not either to save or destroy slavery. What I do about slavery and the colored race, I do because I believe it helps save the Union. It had nothing to do with us in the beginning. Lincoln and the Union Army used slavery as a political move to justify strengthening military endeavors against the Confederacy. Black soldiers were able to fight for the Union when Lincoln passed the proclamation, though they faced discrimination and also performed menial roles because of the presumption of incompetence. And 9 times out of 10, they didn't even have access to weapons. And so a lot of their combat was hand-to-hand combat. The Civil War ended in April of 1865. In June of that year, General Gordon Granger and his troops traveled to Galveston, Texas, to announce the General Orders number 3. It stated, the people of Texas are informed that in accordance with the proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. Throughout the war, Texas was not as closely monitored as other battle states. For this reason, many slave owners went to Texas with their slaves. With its highly negotiable Union presence, slavery continued there for much longer after the Emancipation Proclamation went into effect. Slaves in warring states often escaped behind Union lines or fought on behalf of the Union. The slaves who got the news were jubilant to hear of their freedom on Juneteenth. In the book Lone Star Pass, Memory and History of Texas by Felix Haywood, a former slave who gave a testimony account about Juneteenth as part of a New Deal project, it recalls the end of the war. It comes just like that. You snap your fingers. Hallelujah broke out. Soldiers all of a sudden were everywhere, coming in bunches, crossing, walking, riding. Everyone was a singing. We was all walking on golden clouds. Everyone went wild. We was free. Just like that, we were free. But little did we know, and that's the end of that, little did we know that all of this freedom would come with all of this BS. Because again, I want to remind you that this proclamation, Emancipation Proclamation, 1865. We left slavery, we entered Jim Crow. We left Jim Crow and we entered into the 16th Amendment, which means that you are still a slave under the servitude of the United States of America because you are in prison for whatever crime you committed. And we are seeing Black men, Black women, people of color in droves being taken to prisons and taken to jail sites. And if you do not have that $5,000, $10,000, if you are not a homeowner and able to put your home on bond, where are you going to be if you cannot afford bail? In jail, even though you have not been convicted of a crime. So I say all that to say, Juneteenth is important, and ensuring that our children have the history of what Juneteenth is and what it means is also important. And that's why these are the 17 documentaries, movies, and specials to watch for Juneteenth to just keep these babies properly informed. The Boiling Point, the Smithsonian Channel, will air episodes on CBS News. The Boiling Point is a 6-part immersed documentary series that re-examines America's troubled history of systematic racism and police brutality over the years. The programming will run on Saturday, June 19th from 1 p.m. until 11 p.m., including a series of powerful original video essays to commemorate Juneteenth. A Wonderful Plight. This is noted as the top summer 2021 film to watch by USA Today. Music producer, creator, and raptivist Justin Rhodes brings It's a Wonderful Plight, a film unapologetically addresses gentrification, systematic racism, excessive police force, Tulsa, Black Wall Street, and so much more through the lenses of hip hop and cultural consciousness. Again, the movie, it's called It's a Wonderful Plight, and it will be released worldwide on June 15th, which was yesterday. Juneteenth, Together We Triumph, a Soul of a Nation special event on Hulu. This airs Friday at 9 p.m. And just basically, it is what it is. Juneteenth, Together We Triumph, a Soul of a Nation. Juneteenth, a Celebration of Overcoming, also on Hulu. Monster on Netflix, adapted from the young adult novel written by Walter D. Myers. The film follows a 17-year-old honor student, Steve Harmon, who is played by Calvin Harris Jr., who gets charged with a felony murder and faces a gruesome legal battle that may result in life behind bars. Good rising. A$AP Rocky is in the film Monster. Jennifer Hudson, John David Washington, and Gerald Jerome. Just Mercy on Amazon Prime, starring Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx. The film follows the work and trials of civil rights attorney Brian Stevenson in the 1980s in Alabama as he fights for innocence of the inmates on death row. When I tell you, so I met Brian Stevenson, and his soul is so beautiful. Like, you know, when you meet someone's soul and you don't see their human presence, you can just see like their aura and their godliness. And that's exactly what I saw in Brian Stevenson when I A, met him, and B, heard him speak at the Inbound 2018. Amazing. If you've never been to Inbound and you are in sales, baby, you are missing out. If you sell anything, including a little pom-pom, like it's definitely a conference that you want to attend, because there's anything and everything that you can imagine from technology. Like, I've been going to Inbound now since, like, I believe 2015, and it's just a well of knowledge from some amazing people. Selma will be on CBS, starring Oprah Winfrey, David Oleo, I did not pronounce that correctly, Ava DuVernay, and it will air as the CBS Sunday night movie on June 20th at 8 p.m. 13th on Netflix, directed and produced by the filmmaker Array's own Ava DuVernay. The documentary features commentary from thought leaders, scholars, and activists about the history and racial inequality in America, criminalization. And I said the 16th Amendment, right? It's the 13th. When I'm wrong, correct me, boo. Fight the Power, Movements That Changed America will be airing on the History Channel. I Am Not Your Negro will be on Netflix and YouTube Movies. Miss Juneteenth will be on Amazon Prime. When They See Us will be on Netflix. Whose Streets on Amazon Prime. American Son on Netflix. Oh, this was with Kerry Washington, and it was a black mom and a white dad, and the dad was a police officer, and the baby ended up dying at the. Oh, I just came away home. Yo, listen, it was kind of annoying to sit through the movie, and I think I watched the first 20 minutes, and then I kind of like fast forward through it all to get the plot twist at the end. Left Out on YouTube. This kind of looks like gentrification. It's on the economic crisis facing the Midwest voters and the media that ignores them. We talk about this all of the time when it comes to mainstream media, ignoring anything and everything that you have to say. Good rising, good rising. Hey, Mike, nice you came over. I'm so glad you guys are moving. Rob, I need you to move over to SparkFMOnline. We're no longer streaming from any of the TaylaAndre platforms. Everything is moving to SparkFMOnline. So download the app. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, Hitch, Lich, Stitch, all of those above. We will no longer be on TaylaAndre platform. We will only be on Spark FM. We're trying to get all of the numbers here and keep all of the numbers on Spark, okay? So really quick, I wanted to update you on a few things. So first, for those that are looking for the decarb machine, we do have a link for you guys to purchase the decarb machine through Ardent. So anybody who smokes weed, who eats weed, who makes edibles, who wants to make edibles, who thinks edibles are too damn expensive, so you want to make your own situation, the Ardent Easy Bake Oven for Weed was created by a Bostonian here in Massachusetts, here in Boston. The business is called Ardent. The founder is called, what's Lindsay's last name? Damn it, I can't remember Lindsay's last name. But she is beautiful. She's super intelligent. She's absolutely amazing. The decarb machine will save you so much money. What we learned was you can put a little nug in, or you could put an ounce in. You put it in the machine, you decarb it, and then once it's decarbed, you can do whatever you want with it. It smokes better. You won't need as much when you smoke. You can go ahead and sprinkle it on your salad. You can mix it in your macaroni and cheese. Once it's decarbed, you can literally eat it and have the same effects as if you ate an edible. And so the decarb machine, I will pull up the link so you guys can have that. Oh, it's easy. I forgot I made a bit.ly. I made my life and your life so much easier. So it's bit.ly/SparkUpArdent. Who have access to like type it up real quick? So it's bit.ly/SparkItup, Spark FM, right? Spark it up, Ardent, Ardent, Spark up Ardent, bit.ly/SparkUpArdent, and you will go, if you go ahead and purchase through us, we will decarb machine, boo. Y'all get all types of benefits with purchasing through our link. What was the other thing I wanted to update you on? I'm gonna remember sometime throughout the show, and then I can update you then. High on Hog on Netflix. So we're going through the last bit of the 17 movies, videos, documentaries that you should be watching regarding Juneteenth. Madabia, it will be on BET. It's a miniseries starring Emmy award-winning, Oscar-nominated Black actor Lawrence Fishburne that follows Nelson Mandela's stoic leadership in a 3-part, 6-hour presentation based on Mandela's autobiographies, conversations with myself, and Nelson Mandela by himself. The series was produced in both Johannesburg and Cape Town, South Africa. And those are the 17. And if you go ahead and Google it, it's from the Essence. I've read this off of Essence. The 17 documentaries, movies, and specials to watch for Juneteenth. So these babies can have the information that they need to come out here and be educated. An Oklahoma father is jailed for over a year after shooting a white burglar. I don't know if you guys remember this story, but I read this story back 3 months ago about how he was at his place of business. There was a fiend who broke in, who was trying to steal things. This was not the first time this fiend broke into his establishment. The first time he was like, yo, you gotta go. He went ahead and left. The second time, LaRue Bratcher, 34 years old, was scared. Like he was scared for his life. He went ahead and he shot him. He has now been released on $400,000 bond. Mind you, can we please remember about the Asian man who was just on $10,000 bail after almost shooting did he shoot the little black boy, or he brandished a gun at the little black boy who was on his grass? Was arrested and taken to jail and was let out the same night on $10,000 bond. Yet a Second Amendment legally gun owner who was protecting his establishment, stand your ground, $400,000 bond. And that bond was paid for by Black Lives Matter Oklahoma. So I just, two things, because we talk about this a lot when it comes to Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter, he shot him in the arm. Thank you, Mike Nice. He did. He shot the baby. The baby got shot. He went to jail. $10,000 later, he's at home, chilling, for shooting a kid. But let somebody break into your establishment, you stand your ground, and you shoot said person who is a burglar, breaking an entry, and you in jail for over a year because you can't afford $400,000. So I say all that to say, even if he was a homeowner in Oklahoma, the house is probably worth $250,000. You still can't make bond, even if you put your house up for bond. Bratcher appeared at bond hearing on June 14th, according to the Black Times Oklahoma. The bond was paid for by Black Lives Matter Oklahoma. Bratcher was released from the Oklahoma County Jail on Tuesday afternoon, reunited with his family, and will remain under house arrest until the trial in October. Mind you, he has a whole effing business to run. A whole business to run. Yet if this was a white man with a white attorney, my client needs to, is an upstanding member of community. He has this business. He has his livelihood. What is his wife and kids going to do? Oh my God, woe with him. Let him come out of jail, and he can be there until his hearing in October, his trial in October. But because this is a black man, now $400,000, stay your ass in jail. Bratcher is facing first-degree murder charge in connection with an incident last year in which Bratcher fatally shot a 42-year-old Daniel Hardwick through a door as he tried to burglarize Bratcher's business. On May 26, 2020, police responded to reports of shots fired at Bratcher's South Oklahoma City marijuana shop. He was trying to break in when the business owner, who was inside the business at the time, apparently opened fire with a handgun, striking and killing the man who was breaking in. Authorities contacted Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority to confirm Bratcher's business was illegal, but found his license had expired. Bratcher was arrested for $1.5 million worth of marijuana that was confiscated. Initially, Bratcher was booked for growing marijuana without a license, and his bond was set for $5,000. But after the district attorney's office reviewed the case, his charge was then upgraded to second-degree murder. Bratcher was taken, but I also want you to remember that May 26th of 2020, we were in the middle of an effing pandemic. So while you're over, like, the business was remember, because they said that all marijuana businesses in liquor stores were essential workers. Those were essential businesses. Liquor stores were still open. Dispensaries were still open. They were a part of essential business, right? But back in May of 26, tell me who was at the DMV. Tell me who was at the RMV. Tell me who was at any government building issuing any licenses. Like, if you just had common sense, and that's what the wife said. The wife said, we tried, we did everything that we needed to do in order to keep our paperwork up to date. We were in the middle of a pandemic. You know, we had to wait for the license. If the DA was a real person with a little bit of humanity, you can look at the timeline. It's an active business. $1.5 million worth of product. I don't care what your business is. $1.5 million worth of product is confiscated, and now you got to completely rebuild. You still have a mortgage to pay. You still got kids you got to take care of, and you still got yourself to feed. The story, like, these are the type of stories that absolutely annoy me. So while we're over here talking about Juneteenth and, oh my God, we got freedom, just like that, a snap of the fingers, we got freedom, but you read stories like this and you see that freedom ain't really free. We don't really have the rights and liberties as any other American. And so, you know, that's a soapbox that I could stand on for the rest of the show, but I digress. Let us proceed with the rest of the news. The first mobile phone call was 75 years ago, and it has taken us this long to catch up. And so I just really like weird stories like this. Having a cell phone built into your watch is the type of technology that people take for granted. Once upon a time, you couldn't even you remember, if you look at the old videos, so I love watching old videos, like the old Tupac videos, the old Diddy videos, like the old videos. Yo, Biggie was in the car with a car phone. Them big ass car, y'all don't, and this is like my generation. I saw a meme yesterday. It was a dad at Disney World, and he was taking pictures with Buzz Lightyear and Woody, and the baby all the way down here by his knee. And in the picture, it's him. He was like, this is my childhood, kick rocks. And I'm like, yo, like it's completely different for us. The first mobile phone was 80 pounds. It was installed in cars. It was demonstrated on June 17th, 1946, 75 years ago. The service was only available in major cities and highway corridors and was aimed at companies rather than individuals. The equipment filled much of the car's trunk, and subscribers made calls by picking up the handset and speaking to a switchboard operator. By 1948, the service had over 5,000 customers. Did you guys know this? The first mobile phone service was 80 pounds and is 75 years old. And by 1948, had over 5,000 customers. And I bet you we didn't have 5,000 Black businesses at that time that were flourishing. I'm talking ish. The first handheld mobile phone was demonstrated in 1973, nearly 3 decades after the introduction of the first mobile phone service. It was nearly 3 decades after that before half of the U.S. population had a mobile phone. Do you know what I meant? I miss my Nokia phone. I feel so stupid that I threw my damn Nokia phone away, and even the flip phone. I miss my little, it was a Nokia flip phone, right? Who was that? No, it wasn't Motorola. No, because I never had the do-do. Remember when? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember the chirp? I hated the chirp because they checked your credit to get a Motorola. That was Motorola, right? When they checked your credit, and now all of a sudden all phone companies are checking your credit. I remember certain phone companies would not or did not check your credit. You could just get a phone. Now, all of a sudden, your credit matter for everything. Credit is king. If you don't know how to get a handle of your credit, purchase the book, The Step-by-Step Guide for People Preparing for First-Time Home Ownership by TaylaAndre. Racial bias makes white Americans more likely to support wars in non-white foreign countries, said a new study. I don't know how many times we have to have a conversation about a new study done said something, because we already know that racial bias in Americans make white Americans more likely to support war in Africa, war in Asia, war in any and every country that is not a white country. So with that being said, let's go ahead and pay some bills. When we come back, we are going to wrap up the news you should know so we can discuss doing things right the first time so you don't have to repeat and do it again.
Call SparkFM at 617-272-3387.
No two ways about it. The past year has seen little but challenge after challenge. Now change is in the air, and a chance to get back to the things we love is right in front of us. Back to family and friends, back to travel, back to dancing, dining, and shows, back into the community we so missed. Do your part. Get vaccinated safely and for free. Schedule your appointment now at bmc.org/get vaccinated.
With every vaccination, we're taking a step toward a better future, a step toward seeing our friends, toward family gatherings and backyard barbecues, toward cheering for our home teams at Fenway, The Garden, and Gillette, a step toward hugging grandma. Every vaccination brings us one step closer to hope. Hope is what we need. With the COVID-19 vaccine, hope is what we have. Join us. Get vaccinated. Have hope. Call 311 or visit boston.gov/COVID-19-vaccine.
Finally Home is a must-read step-by-step guide that will equip any first-time homebuyer with the knowledge they need to confidently make informed decisions. This book provides answers to most, if not all, of the questions you may have about credit, home ownership, and generational wealth. Finally Home equips the reader with the confidence to be engaged with the home buying process without feeling vulnerable or exploited. TaylaMade Real Estate Easy is not just a catchy hashtag, it is real estate agent and radio personality TaylaAndre's goal.
Nextel. That's what it was. It was Nextel. What I called it, Motorola?
A goal to educate you properly on credit and teach you the strategies to finding the home of your dreams. It is not just a good book or an easy read. It is the secret to a seamless home buying experience.
You are enjoying the miracle of radio. Tayla's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. SparkFM.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am TaylaAndre. Waking up with TaylaAndre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day you watch this program, but about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness, aka talking about things that mainstream media ain't finna tell you, and having conversations that other people feel uncomfortable having, because I am and will have no problem talking about the truth. It's the damn truth. Back in my journey started in 2007. Anari was born in 2003. Asaria was born in 2006, 2005. the journey like began in 2006, but I was solidified in what it is that I was supposed to do in 2007 when I felt like I was broke and I needed to share all of the knowledge and all of the wisdom that people did not understand was going on in society. And so from there, I have been continuously talking about ish that nobody want to talk about. I have been branded a conspiracy theorist, but the funny thing about conspiracies is every single thing that I've been on like came true. Like, did you know? That came true. Tayla, you sound crazy when you talk about milk. Well, now you guys know that bovine has a whole bunch of hormones, and now your milk has to be labeled on whether or not it has hormones. Your cheese has to be labeled on whether or not it has hormones. Sargento cheese, which is actually their taco cheese, is one of my favorite cheeses in the whole wide world. And if you eat it, oh gosh, melt it on some nachos. So I had to cut dairy out of my diet completely, but Sargento came out and was being sued because one of their mild cheddars or extra sharp cheddars had like no RBTG, ABC in the milk. But the truth of the matter is the label said there were no added hormones to the cheese, but the cows in which they were getting the milk from to process the cheese did have hormones. And so it's like a class action suit, and they're being sued for mislabeling. And what is it called? You can actually sue people for 3 times the damages. False advertising. False advertising. So let me tell you how false advertising made, like, sidebar, right? So when I lived in Birmingham, Alabama, I was extremely prideful. I am a Taurus. So I have a lot of pride, and I, at the time, needed some funds. And so instead of asking my dad, my aunties, my nanas, whoever I needed to ask, I went ahead and did like one of those title loans. And we may not know what title loans are here in Massachusetts because they're damn near illegal. It's like predatory London type situation. It's damn 30% interest. And so it's illegal in Massachusetts because we have strong consumer protections here. But anywhere outside of Massachusetts, you can be raped fiscally from anyone and everyone regarding hard money lending, title loans, etc. And so in the particular like advertisement for the title loan, it was just like, if you pay back within 30 days, you get no fees. And so I went ahead and I got a title loan, and I knew that I needed this little bit of money. I think it was like $800. I think I needed this $800 for literally 2 weeks to sustain me throughout paychecks. And so I paid them back before the 30 days was up, and they still charged me like X amount of percent. And I was just like, no, false advertising. And, you know, I took a picture. This is what the advertisement says. I paid it in due time. I shouldn't have no fee. Y'all gave me the money. I give it right back. And so they argued with me, going back and forth. And I ain't want to argue with somebody who get paid hourly, baby. I need somebody with a salary. So can I please speak to your supervisor? Oh, you don't have any supervisory. You just have a key. You just open the door. That's perfectly fine. I'm sorry. This is above your pay grade as well. So I went ahead and went to the National Division of Title, Car, whatever, whoever they were. I'm like, you know, under section such and such, this is false advertisement. I did what I was supposed to do. Now y'all got to do what you have to do. When I tell you that sign came down the next week, the power of knowing your rights. And so I not only did I get my money, but because you can sue for 3 times the damages, I was like, we can either take this to court and I'm on with it, or you can just go ahead and give me a couple dollars on top of like that fee that you were going to charge me. You can just give that to me. And now that I'm an adult and not a kid anymore, because I definitely was young and dumb, I should have sued for 3 times the damages and got that and had them pay my legal fees. But hindsight, right? And so I don't know why or how that even came into conversation, but now you guys know false advertising is a thing and you can sue for the damages. Going back really quickly, there was a race and public opinion study that was done. And in this study, they found that white people do have racial bias and are super okay with war on black folks, but not war on white folks. And so they needed an entire study and probably paid $1 million something for the damn study. But we already knew that. But now that it's on paper, it can now be considered a fact. A man goes on a shooting spree to kill white men who had taken from him all his life. So this black man with a P tattoo on his third eye, 30-year-old man with an axe to grind against white folks, went on a shooting spree in Georgia and Alabama on a quest to reportedly kill only white men. Justin Tyron Roberts, a black man, allegedly admitted to Columbus police that his weekend shooting binge was racially motivated. Roberts said his motive was to target white men who had taken from him his entire life. During the 2-day crime spree, Roberts reportedly shot 5 people across 2 states on Friday and Saturday in Columbus and Phoenix City. There were reports of 6 victims in 4 shootings. On Saturday, he attended a court hearing. On Saturday? They have court on Saturday? I have something else to say, but we're going to wait till we get to this story, and then I'll bring that up. Reportedly shot a man in the back around 2 p.m. Saturday in a parking area under the Oglethorpe Bridge at Broadway and 4th as the man was exiting his car. Detective Brandon Lockhart told reports that Roberts allegedly told police of his desire to murder, saying, "I had to have him." Basically, he explained that throughout his life, specifically white males had taken from him, and also what he described as military-looking white males had taken from him. The investigator said Roberts revealed during a police interrogation that he was tired of being taken advantage of. He was tired of being walked over. He was tired of having opportunities taken from him. And so anybody who looked like a white man that represented someone who took from him, he took their life. And so 2 hours after the shooting, Roberts was found casually sitting on the steps outside of a building in Columbus, armed with a stolen Taurus 9mm pistol. The detective also said Roberts faced his first set of charges in Columbus. He has a public defender, Robin King, and Robin King asked the judge to order the suspect to undergo mental health evaluation. The officer's testimony demonstrates that Mr. Roberts is having delusions and a disconnect from reality. I'm going to leave that there. There's a video that I want you guys to share. And what I was going to say is as far as Saturday court, I was going to bring up the fact that back in the day, you guys remember the show Night Court? I thought Night Court was a real thing. And then because we live in Massachusetts, it's not. Like, we never had Night Court. But in New York, it is a thing. Like, they do have Night Court in New York City. And so we have a lot. So all of the conversations that I've had with anyone in law or law enforcement or like Rachel Rollins, the district attorney. So any conversations that I had is like, we are backlogged when it comes to law. We are backlogged when it comes to different cases that need to be heard. And in New York City, with so many people being at Rikers Island, Rikers is not a prison. It's a jail. You don't have bail, you go to jail. You don't have funds, you are behind bars. Cover your buns. That was so ridiculous. I'm recording, I know. But I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how y'all have night court and day court and y'all still way behind. Way behind. But I say all that to say, I would love to see on the ballot whether or not here in Boston, if we would do night court. I think that would be amazing. And we could get some of these cases off and people won't be backlogged and we can actually. But the truth of the matter is, I really believe that we should have like 24 hours because there are mad night owls and nocturnal people that live life. Why there can't be a grocery store that's 24 hours? Why there can't be the T-Mobile that's open? I have T-Mobile. That's the reason why I say that. Why we can't have banking hours? Like, it's not 1920 anymore. The rest of the world is open. The stock market overseas is still open. The cryptocurrency market is very different from our stock market in the sense of it never closes. When we are not trading here because we're sleeping in the United States, they're still trading overseas. They're awake overseas. So why don't we have a 24-hour banking system? Why do we still act as if it's still 1929? Again, I say it once, I say it twice. We are the tax-paying citizens. Every dollar that comes out of your check is a decision towards what it is that you actually want in life. We also talked about this on Monday about like the inefficiencies of government, the inefficiencies of corporations, of policy and procedure, just being so inefficient. Can we please have a hard reset? This is why the damn Noah's Ark needed to happen, because there needed to be a hard reset. And I feel like we need that. We need a hard reset so we can have intelligent people finding effective ways of doing things so we can do it right the first time. You see how that's the topic of the day as well. In other news, really quickly, there's so much news that you guys should know. It takes up topic time. Apple Chief Executive Tim Cook has said that the company's greatest contribution to mankind will be in health. So far, some of Apple's initiative aimed at broadly disrupting the healthcare sector have struggled to gain traction, according to people familiar with them. In the documents reviewed by the Wall Street Journal, report that Apple has envisioned an audacious plan for healthcare, offering its own primary care medical service with Apple-employed doctors at its own clinics, according to people familiar. So, long story short, if you're not hearing the words that he said, don't ask for a hard reset. I am asking for a hard reset because a lot of the things that we do now are stupid. From work to play to marriage. Like, a lot of the way that we conduct ourselves is absolutely insane. And we expect different results, and it's only going to affect the poor and the powerless. Rich people drown too, baby. But they got yachts, Taylor. They got yachts. You're right. You're absolutely right. It is going to affect the poor and the powerless. So how do you do a hard reset that only affects the powerful and the rich? Do you guys remember I said that I really wanted a game, I wanted a game show that puts a politician in a position of a constituent. Like, I really, really want politicians to live the way they base their constituency. Like, when you make a certain amount of money, there are no laws, there are no rules, there are no, the fact that Giselle is still in jail after appeal. I want to let me out of jail. I want to go. It's so hard in here for me. They're not feeding me right. They're mistreating me. I'm really surprised that she hasn't been released. And the only reason why I think she hasn't been released is because they went ahead and killed that man in jail. What's the little doodly? Everybody went to his little nasty ass island. Him, Jeff Epstein. And so I think the only reason why they are really cracking down on her is because they went ahead and killed Jeff Epstein. And I would not be surprised if Giselle, whatever the girl name is, if she don't end up missing, because she about to spill the beans. The real reason why they have her in jail is because they want her to tell. They want her to spill all the beans, and I don't think she's finna snitch. I do not. I don't think jail could ever be hard enough for her to snitch. Because she got money stashed away. She gonna do her jail time. She gonna do what she have to do to stay in there. She got some money hidden somewhere in some island, somehow, somewhere. She gonna come out and live a really great life. But you're right. It is only going to affect the poor and the powerless. But we do need a hard reset. But going back to Apple having their own healthcare, I say all that to say, pay attention to what's going on, because Apple still, it's not enough for them. The iPod 85 that we're all using, the iPod 85 is now in everybody's hands. Anari's phone broke. I said, here, I have an Android. You can use this for a couple of days. He was like, never mind, I won't have no phone. Who says that? You would rather be phoneless than to have an Android? Yeah. And all his friends was like, yes, we will have no phone. He said that I told him he had to take the Android because he wanted to go and take MBTA and all this other stuff. And I'm like, you're not traveling without a phone. Take this Android. So he took the Android. There was some girl on the train and he was just like, yo, I wanted to ask her for her number so bad. But you know, they don't even do numbers. I wanted to ask her for her Snapchat. But he said because it was an Android phone, he missed out on the opportunity. Whatever, but Apple wants to be in your life even more, and in the form of being your healthcare provider. So to test, Apple employed doctors at its own clinics, according to people familiar with the plan and documents. To test that and other bold healthcare ideas, it took over clinics that catered to its employees and built a team with scores of clinicians, engineers, product designers, and others. Today, those ambitions, which aren't widely known, have largely stalled as Apple has shifted the focus of its own health unit to something it knows well, selling devices, specifically the Apple Watch. And so the new primary care service hasn't gotten off the ground yet, but they're saying that a digital health app launched quietly this year has struggled to keep users engaged. Say people familiar with the app and the documents have seen by the journal. Some employees have raised questions internally about the integrity of health data coming from a company's clinics that have been used to support product development. And they're just a little nervous and a little skeptical about, you guys already collect everything. You collect my thumbprint, you collect my iris scan, you collect my facial recognition. Now you want to collect my blood samples and know everything about my health. I want you to pay attention to the bigger picture, but I also want you to pay attention to the stock. And that'd be the reason we can't even get through the news, because I want to talk so damn much. Law schools are their forced shift during coronavirus really put into different perspective of how much do we require you to be in class. So 48% of online law students rated the program as good or excellent. Diverse teaching methods improve perceptions of online programs. Online, in-person students participate similarly in extracurriculars. And they're saying, we're taking a look at this, and it may be in our best interest to go ahead and allow more students to take, as particular with law school, to take more courses online. I know one of my goddaughters went back to school, and she was like, that's the type of environment that I need. I need to be in school. I need to be in a structured classroom. But with Asaria thrives at home, where she's able to wake up when she wants. She's able to go downstairs and get lunch when she wants. Like, she has freedom. I cannot tell you how much Asaria's mental health has improved from the pandemic. And if I could, I would opt in for the 3 remaining years of high school for her to be at home as well. And so that is what I am fighting for. I read this story earlier, but I want to continue to read it again for the rest of the month, probably once a day for the rest of the month. Hey, Trey, Rob, I need you guys to move over to SparkFMOnline. For the rest of the week, we will go ahead and stream on all TaylaAndre platforms, but I want to let you know it is time to go. It is time to move. We are taking everything to SparkFMOnline. And so download the app, follow us on all social network platforms. Rob said, spark it up. What up, Rob? What up, Rob? Oh, Rob said a lot. Hold on. He said, hey, Tayla, how you doing? He laughing at Juneteenth, laughing at the fact that Lincoln was a black man who did not let slaves go. He was trying to preserve the Union. It had nothing to do with black folks in the least bit. He said, continue to teach. I share you out. Don't take it down either. Exactly. Sure did. Prisons are organized slavery. How much to get my fiance an interview? Yo, inbox me for that one, boo. Also, what are the businesses and okay, so anybody who wants or needs any type of advertisement, you guys can do some advertising dollars with Spark FM. You can advertise on the Wake Up with TaylaAndre show. We absolutely can have those conversations offline. TaylaMade Media at gmail.com. TaylaAndMade. TaylaMade, MADE, Media, MEDIA. Where'd your shirt go?
I'm on board.
Oh, I feel. I want to come. Where you going? You can't wait 30 minutes?
No, I got to meet my boy already.
I am really jealous.
We'll work out. I worked out 6 o'clock this morning. I'm doing another set.
Another set? I need to do 2 times a day.
We'll work it out.
We'll make it happen?
Yeah.
Okay, shout out to Major Thomas in the building. Make sure you check out his show on Sunday. Major, when's the show Sunday? What's the time there?
Mayor's Lounge from 7 to 9.
Mayor's Lounge from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Sunday. Great guest, amazing conversations. He is such a sarcastic, facetious, pain in the ass. I couldn't stand him the first time I met him, but now I love him.
Me now.
But I do. I love him now. With that being said, Airbnb spends $50 million a year covering up all types of craziness. They talking about some severed heads, dismembered bodies, rape. A woman got $3 million because she was raped by her host, and they paid her. Like, the people on the back end have blank checks to write checks for problems that happen under the Airbnb name. And so the reason why we see all of this insanity going on with, Lyft and Uber and sexual assault and this and that, but we don't see nothing with an Airbnb is because they pay $50 million a year, so y'all don't hear nothing. $50 million a year to keep it on a hush. And I will continue to read that story because if you have ever endured anything at an Airbnb, I want you to know that they've got a blank check for you, baby. Go get your money. Fox has been muzzling me. We read this story yesterday. I'm gonna read this story until we find out the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And so my boo, MVP of the year, Miss Ivory Hecker, was introduced to a report on a recent weather in Houston on Fox 26. But before she made an announcement about speaking to Project Veritas. Fox Corp has been muzzling me to keep information from you, Hecker said. Project Veritas is a white ring media watchdog which exposes perceived media hypocrisy. A spokesperson for Project Veritas said that the group will be publishing an interview with Hecker on Tuesday evening. I have not seen the interview yet. They told reporters that the discussion is about corruption and censorship at Fox and blowing the whistle on how corporate journalism is broken. Hecker's Twitter and Instagram pages don't reveal any particular striking points or views, anything that might suggest that she was muzzled. She said that, so they fired her yesterday. They officially fired her yesterday. Remember, yesterday she still had her job, but they fired her yesterday officially. And Project Veritas are known for their controversial secret recordings targeting liberal media establishment, including stings carried out by the New York Times and CNN and the Washington Post. Recently, Project Veritas has spoken to Facebook whistleblowers who claim the social network has been censoring vaccine skeptics during the pandemic. The founder of Project Veritas, James O'Keefe, even appeared on Sean Hannity's Fox News show to promote the story, revealing that he showed Facebook was testing a beta version of its algorithm to smash anti-vaxxers. Fox has been happy to watch O'Keefe go after its broadcasting rivals, but now finds itself in the spotlight. She really is. I have so much respect for her. This woman has a music career. She has made her way up through the ranks for Fox. She's spoken to executives at Fox. They wanted her at Fox News, the main station that everyone tunes into. She said, where was the part where she said that, She said that she did not want to speak to any more executives. She's done. She has no desire to work because they all tote the line. I think I opened this up in another window. She said all of them tote the line. All of them do the same thing. No one has real freedom. No one has the ability to speak the truth. All of it is controlled by what, again, those 6 individuals that own the 6 networks that give you everything as far as the news is concerned. And it's really stations like SparkFM we don't get that corporate dollar. And because we don't get that corporate dollar, we can talk about the things that really do matter to every single last one of us. And that's what Ivory was talking about. She was like, I'm going to tell you the truth because it matters to you and it's important to you. And these are the things you need to know. But Fox keeps trying to muzzle me so I can't speak the truth. In other news, the article that we read yesterday about the woman in DC who got dragged out of the sports bar by her hair, she said, I feel like even just separating race from it, no man should ever handle the way that I was handled. It would never be okay. And I want a personal apology. And so attorney Brandon Burrell says his client, Keisha Young, was brutally handled at Nelly's Sports Bar earlier this month. And she also feels singled out as a victim of racial bias. They were looking for a woman. It wasn't her, and they went ahead and dragged her by her hair and took her out the damn sports bar. She said no man should ever handle a woman like that, regardless of race, and I want a public apology. Personally, don't send it through an email, Snapchat, through your lawyer. I want a personal apology from the man who thought it was okay to take me by my hair and drag me down the stairs. That was embarrassing. In other news, a police officer recants previous statement against a fellow officer charged with first-degree manslaughter. Oklahoma City Detective Brian Carter, who investigated the murder of Benny Edwards at the hands of another OKC police officer, has recanted his sworn testimony that the officer who killed Mr. Edward fired his shots unnecessarily. The reason why this story is so damn important is because you first came out and you said, this is what happened. This is what took place. He's fired. Fox equals fake news. He fired his shots unnecessarily. And now all of a sudden you want to recant. He's being harassed at work. He's being dug into. You'll never do this. Can you imagine because that thin blue line, that behind that thin blue line, all your brothers in blue, it's a damn gang. We know it to be true. And so no, you can't recant. You absolutely cannot recant. They should not let him recant. You said what you said, right? Stand on your word. Be a man of integrity. Tell the damn truth. And so now all of a sudden, Detective Carter, who has been with the Oklahoma Police Department for nearly 30 years, initially noted that the OKC police officer Clifford Holman unnecessarily fired 3 shots into Mr. Edwards' back while the innocent black man was in the midst of a mental health crisis in December of 2020. However, court documents reveal that the detective who signed his name to the probable cause affidavit later recanted his statement. In February of 2021, Officer Holman was charged with first-degree manslaughter in Mr. Edwards' murder, along with alternative charge of second-degree manslaughter. Now you're a snitch. Now you're an effing snitch. You're a rat. We don't want you on the team. What about your brother? You forgot about your brothers. You out here snitching on your brothers. He'll never, no matter where he goes in the world, no matter what the police department, you have better chances of shooting and killing a black man, being indicted, serving your time, and then going back to another police department to get hired than you are for being a snitch to the brotherhood. The OKC Police Department is at odds with the district attorney's office. Detective Carter's recantation was discovered through an investigation into a separate case, which showed that a week after he signed the sworn affidavit that Benny Edwards' case, he contacted the district attorney to recant. Per documents in the case, of the state of Oklahoma versus Israel Dawson Pointier, the Detective Carter advised DEA Pratner that he could not stand by what he alleged in the affidavit sworn in the Holman investigation. The court filing continues. Specifically, Carter related that he did not believe that Officer Clifford Holman gunshot that killed Benny was unnecessary. While the retraction throws into doubt the charges faced by Officer Holman in the Benny Edwards case, Oklahoma City Police Department is standing by Detective Carter's new statement. Inspector Carter's work assignment has not changed. He remains highly respected member of the police department. But you don't know what that man going through in the back end. He's a snitch. He's a rat. We know what happens to snitches. We know what happens to snitches in the streets, let alone what happens to snitches with guns legally. So I say all that to say, please put some prayer over this man to stand on his word, to stand on his integrity, to F the naysayers, to F the haters, to F, like, just do the right thing. If it was unnecessary, it was unnecessary. I understand that you need to keep your job and you need to keep your livelihood and you're trying to keep the peace. But what you're also doing is keeping a man out of jail for first-degree murder. And so these are the things that aggravate my soul because it's like, yo, this is real life. You're right. Blue on blue crime. You absolutely right. How many black men were out here that were FBI? You saw the FBI agent? It was just like, all right, go in my back pocket. Go in my back pocket. And they flipped it over and he was an FBI agent. They were like, oh, I'm cuffing. He was like, yeah, you feel real stupid right now, huh? How many times you can be a black man with a blue badge, you still gonna be treated like a black man in America. When you gonna realize they don't love you? All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Nurturing dads raise emotionally intelligent children and help make society more respectful and equitable. And the thing that I love about this is they are talking about black daddies. Baby, black daddies that are in their children's lives. America would have you think that all these black daddies is over here sowing seeds and going to jail. But I read an article, I want to say it was like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. And in the article, it talked about how like the disparities of white fathers versus black fathers. And they found that black daddies were actually more involved in day-to-day activities and day-to-day chores is how they labeled it. Like black fathers are more likely to change a diaper. Black fathers are more likely to do like domestic work within the home. Black fathers are more likely to be the primary caregiver if the mother's the one who's working. And so when I read that article, it made my heart all types of flutter and sing because those are literally the examples that I have in my life. Those black daddies that do it all. So shout out to all the black daddies. Those that do and do not have relationship with their children because their baby mamas might be a little crazy, and baby, it has nothing to do with you. She's sad, she's lonely, and she misses you. That's really what it is. She wanted the relationship to work out. It didn't work out. Now she's mad, and she's mad that you have a relationship with the child and not a relationship with her. It's okay. Sometimes you have to do what you have to do and sign those papers and ask the court to give you what should be rightfully yours. Unfortunately, that's what you have to do if you truly want access to your children. Best believe it, black men are involved. They certainly are. And when they are, their babies flourish. Gorilla Glue Girl launches her own hair care brand, including hairspray, months after she required a plastic surgeon to remove the permanent adhesive from her head. Tessica Brown, 40 years old, went viral. That baby is 40? She looked 23. Yo, when they say black don't crack, that's real life. That is real freaking life. Her items are available, include a $14 Forever Hold Spray, an $18 Stimulating Oil, and a $13 Edge Control. And while the hair care products are directly inspired by her headline-making ordeal, Tessica is also selling other merchandise, including t-shirts and sweats, and is making light of the situation and making dollars out of an embarrassing situation. Simone Biles' brother is attacked in a court by a mother of a murder victim after he was acquitted of a triple homicide when the judge ruled there was too many insufficient evidence to convict him. His name is Tevin Biles Thomas. He's 26 years old. He was acquitted of a triple murder in Georgia on Tuesday. Judge Jones Seinberg ruled that the prosecutor did not have enough evidence to convict him of the murders at the New Year's Eve's 2018 party. He was facing 15 charges of related to the shooting that killed Delabonte Johnson, 19, Tashawn Banks, 21, and Devon Gibson, 23. Following the decision, a woman lunged at him and said that she would kill him. The woman was later identified as one of the victim's mother. And that it is sad. She tried to kill him in the courtroom. I don't know the whole story. I'm not going to make judgment on what took place, but it ain't too often that a black man get off for insufficient evidence of killing anybody. So I wonder what that really looked like. So we got to go ahead and pay these bills. When we pay these bills, we're going to come back. Let's really talk about doing things right the first time, because we don't do things right the first time. We end up having to go back and fix the things that we messed up. And I too have my own stories of how I didn't do it right the first time. And so I'm over here. Y'all already know. You already know.
SparkFM at 617-272-3387.
No two ways about it. The past year has seen
Good rising, good rising. How are you? It's been a minute.
and a chance to get back to the things we love.
I hope you are well.
Back to family and
Congratulations on having your first child.
dining shops. Back into the community we so miss. Do your part. Get vaccinated safely and for free. Schedule your appointment now at dmc.org/getvaccinated.
With every vaccination, we're taking a step toward a better future, a step toward seeing our friends, toward family gatherings and backyard barbecues, toward cheering for our home teams at Fenway, the Garden, and Gillette, a step toward hugging grandma. Every vaccination brings us one step closer to hope. Hope is what we need. With the COVID-19 vaccine, hope is what we have. Join us. Get vaccinated. Have hope. Call 311 or visit boston.gov/COVID-19-vaccine.
Finally home is a must-read step-by-step guide that will equip any first-time home buyer with the knowledge they need to confidently make informed decisions.
Foundation and guidance that he needs.
Simple and clear terms to most, if not all, of the questions you may have about credit, home ownership, and generational wealth. Finally Home equips the reader with the confidence to be engaged with the home buying process without feeling vulnerable or exploited. TaylaMade Real Estate Easy is not just a catchy hashtag, it is real estate agent and radio personality TaylaAndre's goal. A goal to simplify one of the most challenging processes you will go through as an adult. A goal to educate you properly on credit and teach you the strategies to finding the home of your dreams. It is not just a good book or an easy read, it is the secret to a seamless home buying experience.
You are enjoying the miracle of radio.
Twingland's #1 urban Caribbean music.
Radio. SparkFM.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am TaylaAndre. We talking about doing things right the first time. So yesterday I went to the eye doctor's. At the eye doctor's, I learned that for the past 15 years of wearing contact, well, I'm 38 and I started wearing, so 23, over 20 years. For over 20 years wearing contacts, I have been cleaning my contacts incorrectly. And after cleaning my contacts correctly and doing it right the first time, do you know, how much money I could have saved over the years on contacts because I was not properly cleaning them, and because they weren't properly cleaned, I thought they were defective or didn't have any medicine in them, and so I would throw them out and get a new pair, and it was simply because they weren't cleaned. Doing things right the first time saves money, saves time, and truly just, I was watching videos with Reggie B. Reggie B is my trainer and has been literally on my ass making sure that I get my body the way that I want my body to be. And I was watching videos with him, and I was not, my form was 100% off, 100% off. And had I had the proper form, had I done it the right way, I wouldn't be battling now to get this weight off. Had I pushed myself the right way, it is not just that, it's just all of the things. If I would have done it right the first time, as far as like relationships are concerned, as far as having children are concerned, like everything, like work, school, name it. If you just do it right the first time, we'd be so ready to just do. That there's no proper planning, that there's no like proper management. I'm kicking my ass today also because had I went ahead and did what I was supposed to do regarding my vehicle, I wouldn't be going through the issues that I currently am. Had I done it right the first, like I'm just thinking about all of the things that if I would have done it right the first time. How many conversations have you had that went all the way left because you over here trying to beat around a damn bush? Because you trying to spare feelings. Because you're trying to be super ultra respective. And had you had that conversation right the first time, you could have completely negated everything that you're currently going through. Whether it's work, a coworker, you're coming to the table and asking for a raise. Having a conversation with your co-parent. Asking all of the right questions before you got married. Now you got to reevaluate your whole life and make some tough decisions about how you got to move forward. Had we did it right the first time, had we had those conversations right the first time, you want to know what the first time I ever learned this? The first time I can remember, the first time I remember having this conversation is, you guys know I talk a lot about my daddy and how my daddy will iron my socks if I ask him to. And so I am so blessed to have the father that I have. And it was this really dope skirt that had like all these different pleats and needed, like, when I tell you I was just like, yeah. And I went outside looking like I was homeless. My grandmother hates, I have one of those nanas. Your ass better not go outside and your clothes look wrinkled. Don't go out here embarrassing me. And I absolutely was an embarrassment to myself because the first time I ironed it wasn't the right time that I ironed it. And so I remember, I think it was like 15, 16. And my dad went ahead and he ironed it. And it was so crisp. Oh God, it looked like it came out of the cleaners. My daddy will starch the hell out of some stuff. And it was so crisp and it was so clean and it was everything that I wanted it and needed it to be. And he said, had you did it right the first time, I wouldn't need to be doing it now. Because I was late, I wanted to go, I was ready to just get it. And I wasted so much time having to go back and having my daddy do it right the second time that I could have spared myself the headache, the heartache, the being late, the not going. Mind you, anytime I show up somewhere, I'm always on time. I don't care how late I am. The way my universe works, every time I show up somewhere, I am, right on time, Tayla. You came just in time. Like there has never ever been a point when I was just like, damn, I should have been early. Should have been on time because every single time but nonetheless, And it's so bad that I have that mentality, because when I be late, I be like, I'm still on time though. I don't need no warnings. Like I don't need no lessons at all. I'm not talking about lessons. I don't need lessons. I get it. I'm working on my punctuality. The universe does not need to teach me a damn thing. So we can continue showing up on time. I just want to be clear to the universe. When I speak, I want to be clear about what we're speaking on. There are 10 things that you should do right the first time, so you won't have to do it later. If you are a parent, you are forever saying this, because I say this to my kids all the time. Go back and go wash them damn dishes. I already washed the dishes. You better wash them dishes again, because you didn't do it right the first time. Now you got to go back and do it again. Laundry. Go rewash that entire load. It's clean. I don't like the way it smells. It smells like it's sour. It smells like you left it in a damn washing machine for the whole day and a half. Go rewash it. If you washed it the first time and put it in the dryer when it was done, it would have smelled like that. Yo, and we ain't even in the midst of summer, and I swear there's like 15 loads that had to be rewashed already. I'm like, yo, can we not spend our summer like this? This is not conducive to the water bill. Like, I don't want to spend my summer this way. Wash it right the first time. Put it in the dryer. As soon as I put the buzzer on so you know when it's finished. You ain't doing nothing but watching TV. Press pause and put the damn thing in the dryer. Yeah, I mean, these kids get on my last. Who got teenagers? I need help. We need counseling on these damn teens. Because I got an 18-year-old with a curfew. I don't know how to act. Listen, I need help. I'm so serious. I'm joking, but I'm really like crying on the inside. I need help. Putting things away. Again, talking to the kids when it comes to putting dishes away, putting clothes away after laundry, putting food away when you come from shopping. If you put it away the first time, I don't have to sit here and do all this rearranging and all this crazy stuff. Most items only take a few moments to put away, yet we leave them out. We do a few, we might do it right one time, and then we do it incorrectly 15 different times. Think about all of the plastic containers that you have. Lord have mercy. I know I'm not the only one that don't have no damn tops and bottoms that match together. So when all of this plastic is just put in there, you looking for a top and bottom. Had you went ahead, pulled it out of the dishwasher, and y'all don't even do the damn dishes. The dishwasher do the dishes. All you got to do is put them in there. When the dishwasher's done, put the top to the bottom, put it away. That way, when you're looking for something, it's right there in front of your face with a top, with a bottom, and it's not all crazy looking insane like a Picasso painting. Same thing with the damn pots and pans. The pots and pans worse than the damn plastic containers. I don't know how pots, and they be putting big ones on top of little ones and little ones on top of big ones, and then the strainer in between. I'm like, yo, do you know how inefficient this is? Like, everything literally has a place. Like, just put it away right the first time. Laundry. Oh, Lord, don't talk about. So laundry is actually one of my favorite chores to do. And the reason why laundry is my favorite chore is because when Anari and Asaria were little, when they were little, and it was just us three, and it was like they would pick out their own clothes. And when I washed their clothes, I would see the alteration in their personality and just the differences of like how their Monday went and their Tuesday went and their Thursday went based on the outfits that they chose to wear. And so for me, I enjoy laundry because once upon a time, it was like 6 months and 2 T's and 4 T's and 6 T's. And now we're into like size 8s and man sizes. And so it's like, it really is the mom in me that keeps me connected on how much they've grown. But when I'm over here doing laundry and your ass ain't putting the clothes away, you want to put it in the damn basket and keep it in the basket. And when I'm asking you if you put your clothes away and I'm re-washing the damn thing that I just washed 4 days ago because you didn't properly put it away and you just put it in a damn basket. Now you don't know if it's clean or dirty. How I know what you wore, you don't even know what you wore. You did not wear these panties. Put them damn drawers in the drawer. Like, this be the real conversations I have with these damn kids. Do it right the first time. How do you know what panties I wore? Because I do the laundry and I do the math, okay? I pay attention. I washed these drawers 4 days ago. You did not wear them in the last 4 days because these are the panties you don't wear. Damn, you know what panties? Yes, I do. Stop putting clean clothes in the damn dirty clothes. These kids are having crazy. Yo, for those that don't have teenagers yet, you think this 2-year-old is a problem. You think that, when Anari and Asaria were 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, their shoes were properly aligned. Their clothes were color-coded. All their toys were in their respective place. My house was so clean, you could eat off the damn toilet seat. I kid you not. House was cleaner than a mug. Nana come over like, did you have kids? Yes, you taught me right and I taught them right. Let's get it. They teenagers, they have more ability to do more things, but everything be everywhere. Everywhere. Why the hell is there a sock in the damn cushion of the couch? Why? My couch is not a bed. Do not sleep on my couch. Take your ass upstairs and get in the bed. This is real life. This is what be happening in my house. These are the conversations that are happening. We absolutely tiptoe around issues instead of stepping into the issue. We be so nervous and so cowardly. And it don't really be coward. It be how you were raised throughout your life to be meek and mild and be reserved and not step on anybody's toes and be respectful and understand that your elders is your elders, even though they the most disrespectful, young-minded, immature individuals on earth. It is absolutely baffling to me. Finish a task to get it done instead of doing something 50% through. This is something that I struggled with because I am a multitasker. So I'll do a couple dishes, go ahead and switch over to laundry, try and broom a little bit, then wipe down the table and realize I ain't getting nothing done because I half-assed everything. Trying to do this and trying to do that and trying to do this. You end up making more time for yourself by not complete. Instead of 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, and feeling like nothing is done. Cleaning up, there's a big difference between doing dishes right after dinner and doing them the next morning. The simple analogy applies to most cleanup jobs. Don't create more work for yourself. Why? We all know the reason why. Because if you clean it right then and there, you ain't got nothing stuck to the damn plate. If you clean the pot right then and there, you ain't got nothing sitting in the pot waiting to be scraped off by a damn, what are them metal things called? And they scrub and they have soap in them and then they go rusty and then you have to throw them away. Those things, Scotch pads. Yeah. It's not. Just do it right the first time. Throw things away. When in doubt, throw it away. I was going through my closet and I have a size. So I'm currently a size 14 as long as it stretches. I still need that stretch for this booty and these thighs. But I still have a pair of pants that at one point in time, I was a size 20. That was the most embarrassing, in life. I was like, yo, what the hell am I doing? Brillo pads. Thank you, Zion. I appreciate you. Thank you, Mice. Brillo pads. What I call them? Scotch. That's a brand name. But Brillo pad is actually the brand too, just like Q-tip is not a Q-tip. It's a cotton swab, but we call them Q-tips. Just like we call Kleenex. We call them Kleenex, but they're tissues. Kleenex is the brand. And so I don't know what the damn thing is called, but Brillo and Scotch are the name of the brand. Throwing things away. I had a size 20 pants. I wanted to remind myself that we will never be that size again. I'm like, if you don't throw this away, if you don't throw it, what the hell are you keeping it for? There is somebody that's a size 20 right now that wants these pants and you got them in your damn closet, keeping them as memorabilia. Can you please throw them away? The size 18s, keeping them. Throw it and when in doubt, throw it away. Throw it out. I can't find the top to the platinum. Throw it out. Put it in recycling. Clean the planet. Preparing for a meeting on Sundays. Take a look at your calendar. If you're not putting anything in your calendar, you are missing out on saving yourself some time. Oh my gosh. Hey Siri, add to my calendar at 2 p.m.
You have 5 appointments that overlap with this. Should I schedule your appointment today from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. anyway?
No, cancel that, please.
All right, I'll leave it off your calendar.
Yeah, if you take a look at your calendar on Sunday and find out what it is that you have to do for the rest of the week, a lot of anxiety, a lot of being late and being tardy. If you already have it set in your mind what your next week looks like, you can properly prepare. And what is the 5 P's? Poor planning leads to piss poor performance. And so for me, preparing for a meeting means it is prepared days in advance. And so I am ready, set, go, because if you already ready, you don't have to get ready. And so preparing for meetings, filing paperwork, addressing bad behavior. I had to learn this the hard way. Baby Ray about to be choked out like Bart Simpson in a minute because he thinks he can do whatever the hell he want to do. I don't want to go to bed. Okay, then I'm going to wake your ass up at 5 a.m. You're going to go to bed now, ain't you? Because you're tired. You had a long day today, didn't you? 5 a.m. is your new wake up time. If you think you're going to go to sleep at 1 a.m., you crazy. You is not a Nari. He think I want to lay with Nari bed. I want to lay with Nari. No, nipping bad behavior in the butt in the beginning. There's a meme that I read. What time is it? We literally got 30 seconds. There was a meme that I read that said, if you raise your children, you can enjoy your grandchildren. But if you fail to raise your children, you'll be raising your grandchildren. I said, oh, I'm glad I did it right the first time. I'm saying no. If you clearly say no, you won't be forced to continue to make up excuses. And so we talk about this all the time. Fixing something that isn't broken. How often do you put up with something that does not work only to do broken items a waste of time? They can be dangerous and safe, especially when safety is involved. Going back to my vehicle, not doing it right the first time, saying no. Well, I can't do it today. I have an appointment. I got to do this. I got to do that. Nah, no, I don't want to. Is a whole statement. No. Period. Whole sentence. Maybe even a paragraph. Could be a paper. No. I am TaylaAndre. Waking up with TaylaAndre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day we link up, but about waking up in your third eye where unorthodox conversations lead us to universal consciousness. Follow us on SparkFMOnline. Share, like, subscribe with your friends. Let's F up the algorithm because they trying to silence Black voices, and we need your help to go ahead and say, the system, we out here. And so everything Spark FM Online. If you wish to follow TaylaAndre, TaylaAndre, all of the merchandise, suck my sacral chakra, ride my root chakra, awakening my third eye, and Soul Naked is all located on the website. Finally Home, the step-by-step guide for people preparing for first-time home ownership, also on the website, as well as the sample credit letter that you can send to creditors to get things removed off your credit. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. We will be back tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Mwah. Yes. Hi, baby.
Hi.
What's up?
Can I rant about something very quickly?
Oh, Lord. What is this regarding?
A famous neurosurgeon.
Tell me.
Okay, so in biology, we're doing our final project, and so it's a slideshow basically, and each slide is a different set of questions, and we finish a slide a day.
Mm-hmm.
And today's slide is about a famous person. Actually, the whole project is about a specific career that we may want to do in the future that has to do with science, that's biology related.
Okay.
And so I obviously chose surgeon, specifically an ortho surgeon, but I'm not about to go out of my way to look up famous ortho surgeons, and Mr. Schneider gave me some surgeons. So he gave us two surgeons, and one was white, one was black, and obviously I chose the black person, but right now I'm kind of wishing I chose the white guy because this black man's making me mad.
Who is the black man? Who is he?
Ben Carson.
Nah, do your research on that dumb motherfucker. Yes, please. Yes, please. Look up Ben Carson and all of his fuckery. Is he an absolute genius? Yes, he is. When it comes to the field of neuroscience, but they took this motherfucker and made him the HUD director. Like he know what the fuck he doing.
My thing is why did a neurosurgeon go from neurosurgery
to housing? Because motherfuckers are dumb. They're like, oh, he's a black man. He knows black people's plight. And because he grew up in public housing. It's stupid. Fucking stupid and inefficient. Yes, our United States government. Hello?
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's not what's making me mad because I'm searching up about just his neurosurgery section of his life. What's making me mad is the fact that he became famous as a neurosurgeon because he separated two conjoined twins that were conjoined at the head.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to start this off by saying I feel as though the whole reason people get surgery in the first place is to better their life. Okay, there's an issue that they have, and so they go and surgery can solve it, so they go to solve said issue to just better their life.
Mm-hmm.
So Ben Carson is the leader of a 70-member team that is there, the team is there to separate these conjoined twins.
Mm-hmm.
And so what is it called? So they do end up separating the conjoined twins, and both of the twins live, but their lives are literally not the same anymore. One of the twins was living in a state of vegetation and then died, and the other one was stuck. He wasn't able to take care of himself at all. Couldn't talk. He couldn't I was just gonna do the basic things that a human being.
So they were better off conjoined.
That's exactly what yeah, they were. And it's making me mad that that's what made him famous, because that's what made him, everyone's like, oh, it was a success, it was a success. And I'm like, it would have been a success if they came out fine. If they had to do with, if they had to deal with coming out of neurosurgery, I know the healing process would be long, but if they had to deal with coming out of neurosurgery, like a normal neurosurgery patient, then that is a success. If they could walk out of that surgery just fine and can go and live their separate lives, not connected to their twin, then that would have been a success. The fact that they call this a success is making me so mad.
So it's the perception of it. And so they're looking at the success of the task at hand. So they succeeded the task.
I know, but it's just you can't. If I was Ben Carson, the leader of the team, and I saw that that's what I did to my patients, I would feel horrible. I would not be able to look at that as a success and then have people be like, oh, now you're famous for doing this. That's so great. I would not be able to walk out and have people tell me how great I am for doing that. I'm just look at what I did to these people. This is not a great thing.
But you have to also understand, them motherfuckers don't care about people's quality of life. It was the fact that they were able to do something that has never been done in the history of medicine before, and because they were able to complete that task, That is the success. And because you have a moral compass and you're a bomb ass human that cares about others' humanity, that's why it's important to you for the success to have been the improvement of life versus the actual medical procedure.
And I feel like, what is it called? Like this, everybody should be seeing it this way, and it's making me mad that they don't.
So what are you writing your paper on?
So it's not really a paper. It's just the project is like different slides talking about an occupation we want to research. And the first slide's like, the question's like, what is the occupation? What's the description? What made you interested in it? And then there's like, how many years of school do you need for this occupation? Like, what college degree do you need? And stuff like that. Then the next slide is like, what's the day in the life of this occupation? How much does this occupation make? So on and so forth. And then it's like, what challenges come with this occupation?
Hold on, really quickly. So with you being an ortho surgeon, how many years do you have to go to school and what is your salary? Like, I just want to know how much scholarships do we need to get you?
Okay,
because you will not be in debt for the rest of your life. I will not let you be in debt for the rest of your fucking life for getting an education. That is not okay.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things wrong with everything in this world. But for surgeon in general, I need 4 years of regular college and then 4 years of med school, and then the rest is just like 1 year internship and then like 4 or 5 years of residency. But that's me that's the internship, and the residency is me working in the hospital and actually getting like a hands-on experience. And then in Massachusetts, on average, I make about $208,000 a year. Which
probably would go up after 8 years of schooling. So we're probably looking at what, like a $250,000 annual?
Yeah, probably. And that's like the average an ortho surgeon makes in America and like the US too. So
what about outside, like Europe, or because you want to move to Spain? So what's that look like in Spain?
Not Spain.
Portugal?
Close enough. Italy, yeah.
What's that look like in Italy?
Hold on, I'm gonna have to search that one up right now. Ortho surgeon annual salary in Italy. I'm gonna need you to give this to me in American dollars.
Just translate it.
The average pay for ortho, is okay. Hold on. Okay, euros to dollars. Okay, give me a second. I'm sorry, it's taking so long. Comma. What is 260? Oh my gosh, I make less. Actually, no, because that's the lowest that they make is $194,204 in Italy. That's the lowest, and the highest that I could possibly make is $434,179. So the lowest I can make is 100,000, and the highest I can make is 400,000.
Ooh.
Either way, it sounds like I'll be making bank. So I have no issue with that.
So let's work on finding any and all
for Free money.
Yeah, free money so you can go to school so you don't have to pay a damn thing and you come out with $250,000 in your pocket and not $250,000 in debt.
And having to, what is it called? Having the majority of my paycheck to go towards paying off this debt. I'm good.
Yes.
I'm gonna be the change in the medical field that everybody is looking for. I wasn't called no, because when I read that, it seemed like they were really gassing this man up, and I'm just like, the look I had on my face. I don't think you could imagine the look I had on my face while I was reading that.
So that did absolutely disgusted you, clearly.
Yeah, because it makes no sense how you're gonna sit here and look at these like people's lives that you ruined and be like, yeah, this is success.
Baby.
Huh?
Are you in class?
I just left class.
All right. I have meeting after 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 meeting today. So I love you. I will see you later.
How late is later?
Today's not a late day. Today's Wednesday.
Are you gonna be having meetings at home?
I am going to attempt not to, but I do think I am going to have to do something between 6 and 7.
Okay.
But I'm taking Baby Rain went to school with no shoes today. I realized while putting him in the car while he was sleeping, I did not put shoes on his feet. So we're gonna come home and get shoes, and then I'm gonna take him to the park and do like a little burn, like a little workout while he's at the park, and then come home and let him watch a little TV while I do some work. So hopefully he'll have less energy after I take him to the park. All righty then, I love you.
Love you too. Talk to you later.
I hope you have an amazing day today.
I do too, Bubba.
Okay.
Yeah, boy.
Bye, Babs. I don't know which one's the right one.
Please leave your message for 78. Leave your message for
Not the Jesus Walks 2030. Yo, what is your correct phone number? Because I got like 2 phone numbers for you. First. Second, you forgot to send me all your clean music because I asked you back in October of 2020.
Sitting here talking about the Wuhan lab leak and the cover-up thereof. What we affectionately refer to it as Batgate. It occurred to me as I was sitting there reading Dr. Fauci's Senator Blackburn, thank you so much for giving us development of this virus. Then we need to be held accountable as well. And we need to deep dive into what bioorganic research rules look like going forward as well. We're never going to get to the bottom of this unless we stop this cover-up of the Wuhan lab leak until we stop Batgate. Thanks, Marcia.
Senator Johnson?
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. Can I just have a timeout? Hey. Yeah, I be feeling like that though. Let me get to this meeting. Oh, hey. I didn't even know. I forgot there was an after show. I shut off everything else, but forgot we were still live on here. What did I say? I'm trying to think of what the fuck I didn't say. Because I was in here talking all types of shit. Oops. I'm going to have to rewind.